Anxiety can affect anyone, including children. A workshop at the University of Regina aims to teach parents, caregivers, and professionals about anxiety among children and how to help them manage through it. Tania Johnson is with the Institute of Child Psychology and joins me live from St. Albert. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Terry.
Now, when we talk about children specifically, why is anxiety on the rise?
Terry, I think at the moment children are losing their anchors that kind of sustain psychological well-being. So they don't have those close, connected, warm, consistent relationships at home or at school. Their environments are often really, really stressed, and there's not enough opportunity for them to really fill their souls with things that nurture psychological well-being.
And how much of a problem is it, Tania, with anxiety among children?
Well, we know at the moment about 1 in 8 kids are actually struggling with anxiety, and only about 20% of those kids will actually get the help that they need.
So I suppose it starts with recognizing maybe those red flags if you're a parent. What are some of the signs and symptoms that parents or caregivers can be on the lookout for?
So a little bit of anxiety is a good thing. It's when anxiety becomes overwhelming that we really start to worry. So usually we'll see it in the body first. So kids will complain of tummy aches. They may have a headache. We'll see changes in sleep or appetite. We'll see them avoiding school or other activities. Sometimes we'll see a complete withdrawal, and other times we'll see large emotional outbursts from kids.
And in your opinion, when would be a good time to seek some help in terms of a tummy ache or some of the symptoms can be just a child not feeling well? When would you take it to the next level?
When I start to see it consistently, so once we've been to the doctor and we know that there's not a physiological reason for it, when it's starting to interrupt daily routines and the child really being the child that they can be, when we see constant interruptions, that's when I go, aha, we probably need to contact a professional.
And we know that children are always watching, even when we think that they aren't, they're taking in so much. So how do parents' behavior contribute to having anxiety?
This is actually something that we really cover in our seminar. Relationships and our own stress severely impacts our kids. Our kids we're constantly projecting onto the children. And it's the number one reason why kids are so stressed. It's because they're living and experiencing very, very, very stressful environments. So in our seminars, we help parents to go, what's happening with my own stress and how do I manage that so that I can be the very best parent or professional for my child or the child in my care.
Absolutely. And on top of, being that role model and having those healthy behaviors, what can parents do to help their child if they feel like they are suffering with anxiety?
I think it's really important, Terry, to look kind of holistically at what's happening for a child. So we talk a lot about the importance of play, of getting outside. Is my child moving enough? What's happening in terms of nutrition? What are their relationships like, not only with me, but at school too? So we look at all of those foundational blocks first before we then go into other strategies, kind of like the icing strategies, so breathing, mindfulness, those sort of things. Those things will only work if the child's foundational blocks are in place.
Absolutely. And you've touched on the seminar, but for folks who might be interested, what else can they expect at the University of Regina?
It's a full day. We look at a lot of the research behind anxiety, what's happening in the brain for a child, how to explain anxiety to a child, and then we look at different tools and strategies, practical tools and strategies to really help your child to be the very best that they can be.
All right. Well, definitely an interesting topic. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Tania.
Thank you, Terry.
That's Tania Johnson with the Institute of Child Psychology. You can learn more on this topic at the Childhood Anxiety Workshop at the U of R Friday, February 3rd by visiting the Institute of Child Psychology's website. We'll be back after a short break right here on Global.